Yeah, hello and welcome to another quick update about VeChain. VeChain is, as you probably know if you've been following me on this channel, in this A, B, and C correction. And within this wave C, VeChain did also, like a few other cryptos, break above this descending trend line. So we've got this descending trend line on the chart here that we talked about before. And in the last video, I made you aware that there is a potential that VeChain could break here this descending trend line, and then we could see some temporary upside. And I think that is exactly what we're seeing now as Bitcoin moved up as well. VeChain broke here out of this flag pattern, or channel pattern, and also out of the descending trend line. Now, short term, that's certainly good, but VeChain, as you can see, hasn't even made a higher high. So it would need to, with the next resistance level being at 5.8 cents, that's a very important one to break. So in order for it to enable VeChain to move actually higher, so far we can't see it yet. So far it's been held down by the 20-day moving average, also at 5.8 cents, and the previous high here, both at 5.8 cents. Overall, VeChain did perfectly come into the target area here between 3.3 cents and 5.6 that we did talk about, I think even already in November. So you can see how well the price chart is actually adhering here to the Elliott wave count of this A, B, and C correction. And that target area is sitting here basically between the 0.887 fib level and the 0.786, but it has to be a little bit lower because the 0.786 was already reached here in the wave A back in July 21. So the wave C has normally to come lower. Well, it did that anyway. It did come lower. And is this already the low for VeChain? I personally don't think so, given the weakness in the chart, given what the indicators are doing, given what I do expect for Bitcoin as well. And bear in mind, even though it broke now this descending trend line, that, I just want to keep on the chart for now, because at any point it could just break that again to the downside. We also had here something like a head and shoulders pattern. I think we talked about it. And what you can actually see here, we've got this left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It did break down. And what is the price doing now? You've got the trend line, the neckline. Okay. Actually, that needs to be a little bit lower. Let me just adjust that. Got the neckline here on the chart. I guess there are different ways of how you could draw this, but I would actually stick with this one. 1, 2, 3 touch points. You can see that the price is currently moving towards this trend line, and that is sitting here at 5.9 cents. So there's a cluster of different resistance levels here. Very important: previous high, 20-day moving average, and the neckline of the head and shoulders. So that's a really, really important level. If it can get above that, I think there is room for it to go up to 7 cents, certainly. And bear in mind, I think the downtrend isn't over yet. Overall, it isn't over yet. It could very well be that the price now switches and adheres to this descending trend line here that is less steep. But we also need to see that what the price is doing here now is not looking really impulsive, at least not yet. Also, generally for the crypto market, I do expect another sell-off based on what Bitcoin's wave count is doing. And VeChain has so far really, really been weak, making a series of lower lows and lower highs. And even if it pushes higher here, all it might be doing is just another series of lower highs. And a lot of people getting very bullish now that these trend lines were crossed to the upside, but I don't see it yet. I just don't see it yet. But of course, we need to acknowledge that also VeChain did come into my target area here that we talked about since November. And that means this was the area where an ABC could be finished, and the ABC could be finished because the C wave did get below the wave A. And to be fair, it has done what it needs to do. It's coming to the target area. So at any point, we could now see here the move up. And that would be then perfectly actually what I forecasted since November, that we will come into this area and then see us moving out of this. But I don't think we've seen the low yet. I think there will be another sell-off, again, based on the higher time frame indicators. For example, here, the weekly MACD, the weekly RSI, where there is still a lot of room to fall further. Last time we were here at the low, we were at the oversold range at around 30 on the weekly RSI. The weekly MACD also here now still falling, potentially turning around, but it's really, really too early to talk about it. on the monthly MACD, and that is really what shows me that you can't really build an all-time high on this, at least not at the moment. We had a bearish cross on the monthly MACD that is very meaningful. Also, there is a lot of scope here for further downtrend on the monthly RSI, and this is really meaningful. You know, this is like the longer term indicator. Here in the shorter term, yeah, maybe it's losing a little bit of selling pressure, but there is not really a turnaround on the 4-day chart. The 4-day chart, by the way, is very meaningful, but I keep a close eye on it. I mean, definitely I keep a very close eye on VeChain at the moment, because it could at any point develop an impulse here. It has done what it needs to do in the correction, and from here it could push higher. But I would rather say we are going to see once more a lower level, and that could go down as low as 3.3 cents, maybe after an initial move up, potentially here to 7 cents in the first instance. Yeah, but bear in mind there is a real cluster of resistances here along the way. Yeah, that's my view here on VeChain at the moment. A slight recovery, nothing significant yet, not yet a higher high. So I remain careful, but I started dollar cost averaging anyway into VeChain. I think it's a great project, and the next wave up then, the wave 3, which would go to the upside, I do see prices here that could really be in the region of 45 cents at least. I mean, from now that's nearly already maybe an 8x, 9x. And however, it could also be a 55 cent level here, or even all the way up to 72 cents. But it's too early to say which one we're gonna see. It all depends on how the next wave to the upside is going to look like. All right, hopefully you liked the update about VeChain. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you wanna join as a channel member, that would be fantastic. You would join a really great community on Telegram, Discord, and a weekly live stream, and then you can check out my website, link in the description, or you can just join here on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.